January 30th, 1835. A man raises two pistols at the President of the United States. He pulls the triggers. Both guns misfire. The President immediately attacks him with a cane, beating him to the ground. This wasn't the first time someone tried to kill President Andrew Jackson, and it wouldn't be the last. Andrew Jackson survived 5 assassination attempts, fought in over 100 duels, and carried bullets in his body for most of his life. He was the most violent and most resilient president in American history. This is the story of the President Death Couldn't Kill. Welcome to Age of Stories. Today we're diving into the life of Andrew Jackson, America's most dangerous president. You see him every day on the $20 bill. But most people don't know the real Andrew Jackson, a man who killed a man in a duel over an insult about his wife, carried bullets lodged in his body from previous gunfights, fought in the War of 1812, and survived more assassination attempts than any other president. In this video, you'll discover the 5 times someone tried to kill Andrew Jackson, the famous 1835 assassination attempt that shocked America, why Jackson was so violent, and how he outlived every enemy who tried to destroy him. This is the story of a president who fought death itself and won. Andrew Jackson was born in 1767 in the Carolina backcountry. His childhood was brutal. At age 13, he joined the Revolutionary War. He was captured by the British when a British officer ordered him to clean his boots. Jackson refused. The officer slashed him with a sword, leaving permanent scars on his face and hand. That defiance, that became Jackson's defining trait. After the war, Jackson became a lawyer, a plantation owner, and a politician. But he was also known for something else: violence. In the early 1800s, dueling was common among gentlemen. An insult to your honor meant a duel to the death. Jackson participated in at least 13 confirmed duels. Some historians estimate over 100. He killed at least one Mount Charles Dickinson in 1806. Dickinson insulted Jackson's wife, Rachel. In the duel, Dickinson shot first, hitting Jackson in the chest near his heart. But Jackson didn't fall. He steadied himself, aimed, and killed Dickinson with a single shot. The bullet that hit Jackson couldn't be removed. He carried it in his chest for the rest of his life. It caused him pain every single day. By the time he became president in 1829, Jackson's body contained at least 2 bullets from previous fights, and more would come. Andrew Jackson served as the 7th president from 1829 to 1837. During that time, at least 5 serious attempts were made on his life. Attempt number 1, the poisoning plot, 1833. In 1833, Jackson received threats that someone planned to poison him. His food was tested, and suspicious substances were found. The plot was never confirmed, but Jackson's paranoia increased. Attempt number 2, the most famous Richard Lawrence, 1835. January 30th, 1835. This is the big one. The first assassination attempt on a sitting US president. Jackson is attending a funeral at the Capitol. As he leaves, a man named Richard Lawrence steps forward from the crowd. Lawrence is a house painter who believes he is the rightful king of England and that Jackson is preventing him from claiming his fortune. Lawrence pulls out 2 pistols, both loaded and primed. From just 6 feet away, he aims the first pistol at Jackson's chest and pulls the trigger. Click, misfire. The crowd freezes in horror. Lawrence immediately raises his second pistol. He aims again at Jackson. He pulls the trigger. Click. Misfire again. The odds of both pistols misfiring, experts later estimated it at 1 in 125,000. But here's where it gets wild. Jackson, 67 years old, doesn't run away. He charges at Lawrence with his walking cane, beating him repeatedly. Jackson's aides have to pull him off Lawrence. Jackson is shouting, "Let me alone! Let me alone! I know where this came from." Lawrence is arrested. He's found to be insane and committed to a mental asylum where he spends the rest of his life. Both pistols were later tested by experts. Both fired perfectly. The misfires remain one of history's greatest mysteries. Attempt number 3, the The Naval Officer Plot, 1833 to 1835. During Jackson's presidency, a disgruntled naval officer named Robert Randolph attacked Jackson after being dismissed. While not technically an assassination attempt, Randolph tried to inflict serious harm before being subdued. Attempt number 4. Political enemy 1835. Jackson's political enemies were ruthless. Several plots were uncovered involving former allies turned enemies who wanted him dead. Most were disrupted before execution. Attempt number 5. The final years 1836 to 1837. Even in his final year as president, Jackson received death threats regularly. Multiple suspicious characters were found near the White House, some armed. Jackson left office in 1837, alive and defiant. Why was Jackson so prone to violence? Several factors shaped him. 1. Frontier culture. Jackson grew up on the violent American frontier. Violence was how disputes were settled. Honor was everything. 2. Personal tragedy. Jackson's wife Rachel was constantly attacked by political enemies. They called her a bigamist. She had married Jackson before her divorce was finalized. Rachel died shortly before Jackson became president. Jackson blamed his enemies for her death. 3. Military background. Jackson was a war hero. He led the Battle of New Orleans in 1815, defeating the British. Military discipline and aggression were second nature to him. 4. Jacksonian democracy. Jackson represented the common man. He was rough, unpolished, and unapologetic. His supporters loved his toughness. His enemies feared it. 5. Physical pain. Jackson lived with constant pain from the bullets lodged in his body. Some historians believe chronic pain made him more aggressive and irritable. Andrew Jackson retired to his plantation, the Hermitage in Tennessee. He died on June 8, 1845, at age 78. His last words? "I hope to meet you all in heaven." The irony? Jackson outlived every person who tried to kill him. Jackson's legacy is complicated. He expanded democracy for white men, but he forced the Trail of Tears, removing Native Americans from their lands. He was a war hero, but also a slave owner. He survived assassination, but caused death to many others today. Jackson remains one of the most controversial presidents. Some see him as a champion of the common people. Others see him as a tyrant. But one thing is certain: Andrew Jackson was the toughest, most violent, and most resilient president in American history. Back to that January day in 1835. Why did both pistols misfire? Modern historians have theories. The humid weather that day may have dampened the gunpowder. The percussion caps may have been defective. Pure chance, some at the time believed divine intervention saved Jackson. Jackson himself believed his political enemies had sent Lawrence. The odds of both pistols misfiring, astronomically low. Jackson's survival was nothing short of miraculous. Andrew Jackson, the president who fought over 100 duels, survived 5 assassination attempts, carried bullets in his body, and lived to age 78. If you enjoyed this deep dive into America's most dangerous president, subscribe to Age of Stories. We post new videos daily exploring the untold stories of American and Canadian history. Next video, the Canadian tragedy that changed North America forever. You won't want to miss it. And remember Jackson's motto: "I was born for the storm and a calm does not suit me." The president death couldn't kill. Thanks for watching.